Boker Tov. Good morning. Today is Rosh Chodesh Elul. It's the first day of the month of Elul, a month until Rosh Hashanah, which will begin on a Friday night 4 weeks from now. You might have noticed something unusual about my shofar. My shofar has a mask over it to help ensure that air particles aren't aerosolized and sent out. That's just one thing that's different about this Elul, and certainly that will be different about this upcoming Rosh Hashanah. It's a Rosh Hashanah we hadn't planned for, we hadn't imagined, we never would have saw it, but it's the Rosh Hashanah we have. I want to begin my brief remarks with you this morning with a reference to the verses that we recite beginning today, in which David HaMelech describes his yearning. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai otav akesh. There's one thing that I ask of God, it is that which I request. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. That I should be able to sit and dwell in the house of God all the days of my life. Lachazot benom Adonai ulevaker behechalo, to gaze at the pleasantness of God and to visit in God's Heichal, his large chamber. What is David referring to? What yearning does he describe? It might indeed be some heavenly world, God's upper realms, being God's house and chamber. It could be the Beit HaMikdash that David wished he could have built and seen his day. And we who live in the period in which we live, know that it is not just that Heichal that we seek, and that Beit Hashem. It's just simply our little mini Beit HaMikdash, Mikdash Ma'at, to be able to dwell together in the house of God in our synagogue. The Hebrew Institute building has been closed to us as construction is actually, God willing, going to begin in September. It really is set to do, which is such a wonderful piece of news for us to be able to share, with things finally being put together with the bank and with the contractor. So that's wonderful news, but it means, of course, that we're not in the building, but we knew we weren't going to really be in the building anyway because of the pandemic in which we live. And we can spend a lot of time, and I think all of us have been yearning for the chance to be all together as we had planned, even in another site, to pray together. We can make the list of the things that we wish we had, the she'elot and bakashot, the desires and the wishes and the things that we'll be missing because it can't happen for us. We know what they are. So what do we have? What we do have is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to offer prayers in a different way that can be equally powerful and differently powerful. And whether or not you'll be davening with us in tefillot, in our minyanim, which we're going to describe in a moment, or at home, you should understand and feel that you have before you a chance to have a different type of Rosh Hashanah, which can be quite powerful, in which prayers take on a different meaning, but have great meaning. And the experience of engaging with Rosh Hashanah as a religious moment, and Yom Kippur as well, in a different context and a different framework, can indeed be uplifting. Here's in a nutshell what our plan is, folks. We've been working on it for the past few weeks and still have some more work to do. But we hope to have a number of minyanim taking place across White Plains. Right now, we're still trying to secure a space that can be indoors, but for the most part, we're talking about outdoor minyanim. We're working to secure canopies as well. We have, with the kindness and an openness of our sister congregation of Kol Ami, we will hopefully be using a number of spots on their parking lots. They have an extensive set of parking lots which they're not using this Rosh Hashanah, and we will be setting up minyanim there, starting with an early minyan and a second one. Each of these minyanim are going to be much shorter than usual, around 2.5 hours. Max will be the length of these minyanim, which means that we're truncating We're starting at Nishmat, and we're not reciting some of the beautiful prayers that we've always so appreciated and deeply loved. Some of them we'll try to keep in, but in order to ensure that we're not with each other for too long, and that's their second or even a third minyan can happen, this is what we're doing as are most congregations across the country and across the globe. So we'll have truncated minyanim, in which you can attend. If your children can sit with you throughout the duration of the service, you can have your children with you. And that is our plan. We're even try to stagger these minyanim such that if your children will be at home, because we don't have children's programming, we just can't make that happen this year. That one of you can attend the early minyan, one of you can attend the later minyan, or at least some additional shofar blowings that we'll be doing separate and apart from the minyanim. That's our plan. And each of these minyanim will be led by either myself or Eli Landau, who is our chazan, who'll be returning, or many of our congregants who are stepping up to be lay leaders of tefillah. And it's going to be different, but it's going to be really, really powerful. We'll have 50 people, no more, at each minyan. And I'll tell you this, if you're with us for a minyan, it'll be one experience. If you're davening at home because that's what you need to do for your well-being or for your child care, that'll be its own experience. And I'll try to give some guidance as we get closer to Rosh Hashanah about how you have those tefillot meaningfully at home. But this is what I envision, this is what I imagine. That every one of us will offer our prayer in whatever location we find ourselves, whatever time of the staggered times we have. And all these tefillot as we describe at different points in the high holiday liturgy, whether that they're gathered up in a little flask, where they sort of just kind of hover over the area. We'll then turn and offer them up to the Rabbanu Shalom, to the Master of the Universe, and say, here are the prayers of the Hebrew Institute this year. It's not what we would have expected, God, but it's what we have, and it's good. And we believe and we know that the Master of the Universe, who created the world this season, created us on the day of Rosh Hashanah, the Master of the Universe knows what's happening right now on the planet and will receive our prayers however we are able to offer them with love. And we will walk away from the Rosh Hashanah experience and then the Yom Kippur experience we have enriched from working on ourselves in a different way and praying in a different way, but with our hearts and with our souls and with our voices, not so much public singing, but with our voices too. May God accept our prayers, and may God give us strength. God give us the strength to be able to enter this season and create a world which is better, which is healthier and safer in the months ahead. So that this will be the only Rosh Hashanah we need to do this way, but one in which we can feel that we've done our part and accomplished something good. May God hear our prayers and give us strength. Chazak v'yametz libecha v'kaveh Hashem, hope in God. May your heart be strengthened in great hope once more in God. Hai hara na 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 dai da da ya ya da 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 ota avakesh shiveti b'feis Hashem Kol yemei chayai shivti b'feis Hashem Kol yemei chayai. Let this be a year that we should be inscribed and written for the good. L'shana tova tikatevu. Have a beautiful Shabbos and a powerful Rosh Chodesh in a month of Elul as we prepare for the days of awe.